Hi, everybody. This is day 1470, and we are burning the midnight oil, and it's already 1471. Um, but for this podcast, um, you know, let's put it on record 1470 days since Richard was premeditatedly murdered on Fort Bliss. Richard, a whistleblower soldier in Delta Battery 143 ADA, that's Air Defense Artillery, um, was murdered, premeditated murdered, code red murdered. Um, if you're in the Navy, you know what that means. On Fort Bliss. Why? Because he was whistleblowing, and he was whistleblowing um, not just making complaints, but he was collecting evidence and he was turning in evidence. And and of course, it's about criminal trafficking. It's about child pornography, and there's plenty of that in El Paso. Why? Because Representative Veronica Escobar is too busy just serving herself, looking in the mirror at herself. There's too much criminal trafficking going on at the border. And I do point my finger at Veronica Escobar because she has been part of this case from the beginning. She's the one that said she was going to get the FBI in. She has oversight. She has power, just like Ted Cruz. And this criminal trafficking is so much money. They're making so much money. And they're serving, I believe, now this is my opinion, I believe it is a sex cult that they are serving. I believe it is absolutely almost satanic because no way, no way can we have 85,000 missing children. Um, and everyone's like letting letting that slip by, not reporting it. And now we have, to this day, almost 70 unaccompanied children coming over that border. Like, what, families are just saying, oh, see you later, kid, go. Um, no, that's not what's happening. But you have almost 70 a day. That's 500 a week, 2,000 a month. And that's what's being reported. What is really actually happening? What is not reported? What's happening in the dark? And what are they doing with these children? Where are these children going? It's really needs to be answered. And Richard was not going to stand by and let these children be tortured, because that's what child pornography is torture. And we know that they might even do it under the guise of a church. Like, oh, we're a church. That's why I'm saying this is kind of, and I'm a very committed Christian, um, very committed Christian. Spent so much time Bible studying, so much time with my Christian brothers and sisters. This is in no ways picking on religious beliefs. This is, um, it's a sex cult. It's satanic, and it absolutely is a group. And that they are whatever abuse that they're doing to children, and creating these films with it is absolutely horrendous. And what do we do? What, I mean, what needs to be done. We pay our taxes, right? Here, and the El Pasoans and Texans pay their taxes to restrain all this evil. And what is Veronica Escobar doing about it? And better yet, what is Bill Hicks doing about it? He's going and doing an interview a couple days ago, and it came out today. He's doing an interview about the Walmart mass shooting that has been costing Texans millions of dollars. Millions of dollars they have sent over to that DA's office and to the prosecutor's office. Millions. And 5 years, not even a mental health evaluation has been performed on Patrick Crusius. Not even that. Not one thing. Oh, let's get together in a little courtroom. We won't even let Patrick Crusius out. And now they're saying in September they're going to meet again in a courtroom and let Patrick Crusius out. Let's do a dog and pony show. But not one thing has been done. And what does Bill Hicks do? Here we have all of this criminal trafficking. And he's a usurper. He's not even legitimate. Okay, there's active and ongoing investigations into this matter. Look, he didn't even fill out his statement of officer properly. Which, it's a big deal if you get appointed as a district attorney, especially for El Paso, Texas. It's a big deal. You would think that you would install properly, but he didn't because he had conflicts of interest with LLCs and conflicts of interest with clients like purchase funeral homes. He should never, ever have been appointed. Never. His record is bad. There are other lawyers out there. And he's sloppy. He's so sloppy. I don't know what else to call it. When you look at the open records, you're like, you're so sloppy. You don't even put, on his form, when he's signing his oath or once, a whole month goes by, more than a month goes by, 6 weeks goes by, and the Secretary of State is like, hey, we don't even have a statement of officer of yours on record. And, then he's like, okay, I'll fill it out, send it to you the next day. He puts district attorney on there. He doesn't even put the 34th Judicial District Attorney, right? Because there's no office called district attorney. There's an office called the 34th Judicial District Attorney. He's so sloppy. And then it appears that he schemed as a district attorney to tamper with an official record with a timestamp because he needs to backdate it now because he didn't turn it in as the Texas Constitution it tells you that you have to do as a prerequisite. You have to sign the anti-bribery form, which is the statement of officer, before you take your oath of office. And he didn't do that. And then he's in our open records, it looks like he's tampering with official records, which is also then impersonation, right? Because he's not eligible to take the oath of office. He's impersonating and even committing perjury. So he's just piling on all these crimes, all this criminal activity. And then with every case that he takes up, including Richard's, he created even more crimes. And of course, with this Walmart case, which is intertwined with Richard's case. If we solve the Walmart mass shooting case, we will solve Richard's case, and vice versa, because it's the same perpetrators. Not 100%, but a big group of them seems to be. And it's very messy, y'all. It's so sloppy. And Bill Hicks is sloppy. Is that a coincidence? I don't know. I don't know. You decide, and you can ask for open records, and you can ask for open records with all of this stuff, because you're especially if you're in El Paso, you're paying the money. Don't you want to know where your money's going? Don't you want to know what your leaders are up to? I do, because he's really obstructing justice in our son's case. And now all of this criminal trafficking is going on. The Walmart case is going on. Not going on. It's not going on. Richard's case is ongoing, right? And we have all of these ongoing investigations. And what is he doing? He's breaking the gag order. He's absolutely, in that interview, breaks the gag order. This same thing that he was huffing and puffing on, blow your house down to Yvonne Rosales. Now he is doing it freely, because I guess he is the privileged one with this criminal network. Maybe Judge Medrano could tell us. Why is the law, the gag order, good for Yvonne Rosales, but who cares if Bill Hicks breaks it? And why is Mr. Montoya getting involved in all of this? I don't think I would. I don't think that's too smart of him. Because he knows, Mr. Montoya knows, that Bill Hicks is illegitimate, that he is hurting every case he puts his hands on, that he is hurting the Walmart case, botching it, because he's not legitimate. He's a usurper. He's a trespasser. 100%. There is not a doubt in my mind. He did not install properly. He's messy. He's sloppy. And why would El Paso, the great city of El Paso, ancient city, and very important city right there on the border, why would they want such a sloppy, illegitimate district attorney? And Montoya's, like going along with it. I don't think that's very smart. It's kind of like pulling a Harris, right? Isn't Harris for years going along with the fact that someone is not able, not mentally fit? You make up your own mind, but it's very clear for me. It's very clear. And all of this fake going along, it's hurting our country. And they are sitting there. They're sitting there in an interview, breaking the gag order, giving their opinions. And now, do I agree with the gag order? It doesn't matter if I agree or not. It's there. Judge Medrano put it there. And he went after Yvonne Rosales for it. But he doesn't care what Bill Hicks does? He doesn't care that Bill Hicks is a usurper? This is, the law is good for some and not for the others? They can weaponize the law? They can weaponize the gag order? I mean, is that what's going on here? Because that you make up your mind, but that's what it looks like for me. They're not concerned at all. And Joe Spencer just came out and said, "Oh, I can't talk about it because the gag order." And yet Bill Hicks feels like he's just above the law. And this whole thing with Republican and Democrat, he's not a Republican. He's not a Democrat. He doesn't care. He already said it in his. He's so sloppy. He's not either one. He doesn't care. If Governor Abbott says you have to be a Republican, he'll say okay. If another person says you have to be a Democrat, okay, yeah, well, that's what I'll be. Whatever you want me to be. That's what we want as a district attorney? I don't think so. Very sloppy, very wishy-washy, very flip-floppy. That has no moral backbone at all. And conflicts of interest. How is any family going to get justice with these terrible crimes going on? Yeah. And it seems like if we perpetuate that kind of culture, look at what's happening on the macro level in the Washington, D.C. level. And I'm talking about, I don't even think it's a micro level. I think, the district attorney of El Paso is a big deal. And he's botching every case. And he's a usurper. And he's bleeding attorneys. And we've done whatever we could to make sure that the young attorneys know that he's a usurper, that he cannot be trusted, that he's sloppy. He can't even fill out his statement of officer properly on time to accept the appointment of the 34th Judicial District Attorney's Office. He can't even do that. And this is why the criminals can just infiltrate and use our monies to support their crimes and then hurt the whole community. And this is why they could get the Army with others could get away with planning the murder of a soldier on Fort Bliss because of the lack of oversight, the lack of accountability. The sloppiness, and the criminal trafficking, of course, being the weapons smuggling and the ammunition smuggling, and we're even equipment and going to certain bars to plan terrible things and pawn shops to make some money illegally. We're hearing stories of bunkers. Of course, the tactical move storage units are all over this, which, always brings my mind to kilometer 29 and Roaches and those tactical move storage units. So, I think, tomorrow or today it is August 3rd, 2024. If you're in Texas, you still have a little bit of time to go. But this would be, well, happy birthday, Dallas Hart. All right, happy birthday, Dallas Hart. This is the anniversary of the Walmart mass shooting of 2019 that was orchestrated. Clearly And clearly, Ernest Christopher Grant plays a big part in that with others, and they're up to no good. With Chris Cuomo, with Beto O'Rourke, absolutely. And it was election tampering. It was absolutely a political move. It was absolutely a way to get a bond passed for a new police station. It was, just a very pre planned, orchestrated mass murder. So there's a lot to it. There is so much to it. And, just to look at the victims, where are the victims from, who are they connected to? That's that's a huge part of this case. And why did the Walmart mass shooting even happen? Well, we've been told it's because there were audits. These people were in trouble. And we've been told that Richard's complaints with evidence was causing some problems. And that's why these two cases are connected, because Richard was so clean. His his file, his record is spotless. And they did everything they could to try to smear him, to discredit him. And it was absurd. And it's like, what's going on here? Why are they smearing Richard? Well, now we know, right? Because he's reporting criminal trafficking. Audits were going on because there were guns everywhere. The barracks were flush with weapons, which is illegal. Children were being abused, tortured, and some were making films. And I think it's still going on. They've exploited children, exploited the good graces of the United States people by um, the weapons and the ammunition and the equipment and everything in the military, using the military badly for their criminal network. And they've treated the people of El Paso so bad by making their community, also, we have that medical examiner, Mario Raskin Ortiz. That is illegal. Illegal. They did a Bill Hicks. Let's go back and try to formulate some kind of paperwork to rectify this. No, it doesn't work that way. You can't tamper with official records. You can't manipulate and twist the law to meet what you want, so you can have your $430,000 a year and be illegal in the country and not qualified for the job. And then all of a sudden know, who do you know, and get some paperwork to like the travel vouchers for Dallas, and it's like, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know if that's counterfeiting. Would that be counterfeiting? I don't know. Producing documents with on an illegal foundation. And he handled every victim, those remains. And he cannot be trusted with the cause and manner of death. And we believe he handled Richard's dismembered body parts. And he cannot be trusted. And Veronica Escobar is one of the main reasons why he's there with Joanne Bernal. They had a duty to put in a qualified legal medical examiner. It's very important. It's like a judge. So clearly, they're up to no good. And Joanne Bernal, she's at least smart enough to say, well, I'm out of here now. I'm out of here. This is getting too hot. They've got our number. Because it's not just us. There is ongoing investigations with this whole thing. And it really tells you how wide this criminal network is, how profitable it is for them to keep someone that's unqualified and illegal like Mario Raskin Ortiz, who's connected to Bliss Avenue. The Bliss Avenue. And there's more, y'all. And there's a lot of people, KTSM is connected to Bliss Avenue. The Walmart case is connected to Bliss Avenue. Richard's case is connected to Bliss Avenue. What's going on Bliss Avenue? There should be, there is. We've worked very, very hard to make sure that there were active and ongoing investigations. Because there are so many pre-planned crimes, premeditated. That means this is organized crime. And it is connected absolutely with the cartels. Thank you, Anicia, for coming on. Thank you for your prayers and your love. The scenario of the premeditated murder of Richard is very interesting, and we're really analyzing it. We are absolutely going through it with a fine-tooth comb to corroborate or to, see what we can glean from the information that we got. And from the names that we were given. And it's absolutely very connected to LLCs. And they have proven that by, as soon as we say something, they sanitize. They sanitize their LinkedIn, they sanitize their Facebook, they sanitize the internet. These people have connections. But we make PDFs, we do screenshots. We've recorded. And, you just can't cover up the truth. You just can't. If you're part of KTSM, you're part of KTSM. If you're part of Bliss Avenue and KTSM, you are. And these LLCs, there's trails everywhere. And they've tried to cover up who is, part of the LLC, just like with FitFam El Paso. Let's just forfeit the whole company, our liability, right? And then we don't have to pay taxes. We don't have to, well, I think, whatever. Maybe they did. I don't know. You decide. But they don't have to submit all of the employees and all the information, and they can just work without having a limited liability. But we bought it. We bought FitFem El Paso LLC, and we then went to the city of El Paso and bought the two assumed names of FitFem El Paso and the real FitFem El Paso. And I think that's newsworthy. But I think today you're going to have a lot of news. It is a 5-year anniversary of the Walmart mass shooting. And, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. We've been approached by different entities. And let's just pray that, someone joins us in this battle for our country, for our community, for El Paso, for our military, that these criminals absolutely, I think it's going to be Bill. I think Bill is going to be the first one to go in handcuffs. I really do. I think that's going to be a big deal because all we have, the open records keep trickling more and more information, and we keep turning in and making the complaints, right? And that's very, very important to do is, I think the don't be a tattletale is a psyop, you know? I think it's a psyop. I don't know. Because, I have my grandkids and I'm like, oh, don't be a tattletale, But I don't know. I think it really is a psyop because when you have this kind of criminal activity going on and growing into criminal networks and growing into very serious criminal networks that become sex cults and even leaning on to the Satanism part of it, then, we, I think it's better to have some tattletales. If we can stop that, we need to report it. We need to report it. We need to document it. We need to collect evidence. We need to document that. We need to report that. And we need to report it to all the agencies possible that have anything to do with it. And we need to drive them to do their job so that we can have a safe community. I think just paying our taxes and just thinking that they're going to do it is not an option anymore. They have to be driven to do their duty, which is pretty sad. And so, but absolutely, lots and lots of letters. And so I saw with the assassination attempt, there's social media out there that are asking people to call their congressman and their senator because of the absolute botched investigation into the attempted assassination of President Trump. And, that is just a wowzer. They absolutely need to investigate that. They need to get to the bottom of that. We look so weak as a country. If a little, what was he, 20 years old or whatever, can just hop around a roof and then put a gun together and then shoot it and kill someone. And then we have a botched investigation because of botched, breached security, we look very, very weak. And then, of course, it's not just that we look weak, it's that we're leaving ourselves open for, you know, this is a national security issue. Uh, and I hope you agree. I absolutely see so many more people getting hurt unnecessarily. And in order for us to get Richard's remains, we need people in the system to feel confident that they can help us without retaliation. So, you know, it's not an option to just look the other way with a usurper district attorney in El Paso. And it's not an option to look the other way to see an illegal, unqualified uh, chief medical examiner. They both need to be removed. So we need to get real. I think we need to get real and get some real qualified people in. So thank you so much. Um, and God bless you for sticking with us for this long. We do want to give you positive information about ongoing and active investigations in this case. In Richard's case, they've tried to put it in cold case. It is not in cold case, y'all. We are actively working with those investigating, and we're very grateful for that. And it, of course, is one thing about this whole gag breaking the breaking the gag order by Bill Hicks is you absolutely see that the Walmart case is not in cold case, right? People still want accountability, rightfully so. So thank you so much. God bless you, and I will be back tomorrow, God willing.